Hello, bonjour Alberta. Did you know that at least 238,000 people speak français in Alberta? And those numbers just keep on growing? Oui, oui, c'est vrai, it's true. And thanks to Shaw TV Community Access Programming, we get to reach out to everyone to let you know all about special people, places, events, and activities happening right here in this great province, in both English and en français. That's right, mes amis. We begin the first part of our program in English, and then we repeat it en français. So stay with us. Restez à l'écoute.
Welcome and bienvenue everyone to Hello, Bonjour Alberta. I'm Anne Boiteau.
And I'm Marc Lalonde.
And we have a very special show for you today. Every year, Francophones all over the world celebrate in two very special weeks their culture and their language. And we are no exception here in Calgary, and we did the same. And two of our two guests today are here to talk to us about les Rendez-vous de la Francophonie here in Calgary. So we welcome today Doreen Bergum, who is an elder with the Métis Nation of Alberta Region 3, and our very own producer of Hello, Bonjour Alberta, Madame Francophone, Suzanne de Courville, Nicol. Welcome, ladies.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So maybe we'll start a little bit with Doreen. And Doreen, can you tell us a little bit about your ancestry and where you come from, and a bit about your family and what you do?
I sure can. I was born in Olds, Alberta, raised in Sundre. Both parents Métis, Dumont and Vanessa. A family of 10, I was number 6.
Wow, impressive.
Our parents taught us how to do all the crafts, the weaving, the beading, moccasin making, capote making, and our happiest of all, our music, doing our Red River Jig and all the Métis dances. So our parents were very instrumental in sharing their culture, their language. And I'm now the elder, which is, I've come a long ways, but with all this history and background that my parents taught us, I love to share our Métis culture.
So how do you go about sharing that?
I do teach jigging in Cypress Hills every year, and I just taught beading. I teach beading in schools and in any organizations that I'm asked to do, and I just recently taught beading to our own group of Métis women. We started a new Alberta New Dawn Society for Métis women, and I, like these Métis women that I taught, did not sit with my mother to bead.
So they're sitting with you now.
So now they're sitting with me and I'm teaching them. But I also had a group in Sundre called the Métis Friendship Circle, and we have a permanent display in the Sundre Museum of our Métis culture.
Very nice. And on the special International Day of La Francophonie, you were invited to City Hall where we celebrated, and you read a very special prayer for the celebration of that day. Yes. Would you repeat it to us today?
Yes. It goes like this. Hello, bonjour, and tanse. God our Creator, thank you for the partnership between the City of Calgary and the Francophonie community, sharing our culture. God our Creator, Thank you for allowing our flag to wave on this day, proclaimed International Day of La Francophonie in our great city of Calgary. God, our Creator, watch over and guard our country. Inspire our leaders with wisdom so they may choose the right path. Thank you. Merci de Toinanan.
Ah, that was so nice.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Very beautiful prayer. And Suzanne, you were there as well on that wonderful day. So tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, well, as the chair of the committee, organizing committee for the second year now, third year really, but second official, I basically brought the community together, Francophone, Francophile, Métis, to celebrate our language and culture on March the 20th, which has been since 1970, the official day of the International Day of la Francophonie. So even on our banner here, it's always there, the Organisation Internationale. So Francophones, of course, in Canada since for 17 years now, officially, celebrate les rendezvous de la francophonie, which started off 1 week, now it's almost 2 weeks. And so there are thousands of activities right across the country. And so it was really nice to have so many things happening here in Alberta. In Calgary, we kick off the Les Rendezvous with the raising of the Franco-Albertan flag on the first day of Les Rendezvous, and then end on March the 20th. The official date was the 22nd, but we ended on the Friday, which was the 20th, with the raising of the international flag of La Francophonie at City Hall. And so I thought it was really important to have Doreen, who's has been a good friend for a long time, and my inspiration. She's just such a wonderful lady. And I thought wouldn't it be great to have her say a prayer, which she had done beautifully for the Canadian Club of Calgary, of which I'm also a member, when we had our luncheon at the Calgary Petroleum Club, and Justin Trudeau was the speaker there. So you know, Doreen, everyone admires her and loves her prayers. Are so well thought out and not complicated, and so it was just an honor to have her there with me. With us.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So for those prayers, Marlene, Doreen, do you tailor them to the event often?
Yes, I do. Most of the
Okay.
times.
Most of the times?
Yes. Yeah.
So that's quite a booklet you have there of prayers then.
Yes. Well, I was the elder for the past 3 years, and then we had elections last September, and they've invited me back for the next 4 years.
Oh, good.
So,
Wow.
Nice.
Oh, so that's an elected position?
yes.
Oh my, I didn't know that.
It's, yes,
Oh,
appointed.
That's
oh
it.
wow.
You don't,
Well,
you don't,
congratulations.
Thank you.
don't get it automatically.
No.
No. Great.
And
So-
this year, Suzanne, sorry
ahead.
for interrupting you, Marc, but this year, Suzanne, in the hall, City Hall, we also had l'empreinte francophone. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, l'empreinte francophone, the francophone footprint, is the history of the francophones in Alberta. It's a beautiful historic exhibit that was put together in 2008 as a special project by la CFA provinciale, so the l'Association Canadienne Française Alberta. And it circles, you know, it's been around to different schools and that, but I thought, you know, it's such a beautiful thing. Although I had never seen it myself, I'd seen pictures, that, you know, it really deserves to be shown publicly. And what better place than City Hall?
Oh,
so we were there all week. It was amazing. Many people were just floored. They couldn't believe the history, and I think also Doreen was pleased to see. I'll let you say.
Yes, I was very impressed and so excited to see the Métis banner
yes, eh?
Right,
back to
right. Well,
1885.
What sort of things were on that Métis banner?
It had a group of Métis politicians and how they were involved in moving out west and forming our great Calgary in Canada.
And Muriel, of course.
Yes.
Yeah. And you said your grandfather was here in 1885.
Yes, he was born in July 19th, 1885 in Calgary.
In Calgary.
Yes.
So he would have been in Courville.
Yes, I'm sure.
In the Mission District,
As a-
living around the Mission
Right,
District.
as a very young boy.
Wow, amazing.
Yes.
So that exhibit is 15 banners, and it really goes through the steps of la francophonie, including media, education, how the flag, the Franco-Albertan flag, was designed, etc. So it's a broad-based history of Alberta Francophones, and what we are planning to do for next year is a similar exhibit, but that really concentrates on Calgary, which began in Rouleauville, the Mission District, and everything. I mean, there are 30 different organizations. There's the theater, the economic development, health services now that are just coming up, newly announced with a clinic. And of course, certainly the fight for education. People don't realize that back in 1926, French was not allowed in the schools. Kids used to hide their books. You know,
Either.
I know.
It was illegal, for a long time.
Exactly, and so, you know, people now, all they have to do is register their children in French immersion or Francophone schools. So it's nice for people to realize the whole history behind it. And if it wasn't for our pioneers and fighters for la cause, none of that would be there. So, yeah.
So there was quite a program. I was there too on March the 20th.
Yeah.
Can you just take us through some of the things that were involved? I remember lots of politicians from every single level, most of whom were able to speak French.
Yeah.
Pretty much all of them, right down to André Chabot from the city.
André Chabot, yes.
And we had some singers, did we?
Yes, from Cowtown Opera, and Nathalie Fagnan, who sang La Vie en Rose. And as she was singing, roses were handed out to everybody and that was there. And I had specifically ordered 5 dozen roses in the 5 colors of the OIF, so yellow, blue, green, purple, and red. So there was a thought behind everything that happened that day. The flag raising ceremony, of course, the special prayer, the official proclamation by Deputy Mayor André Chabot, who read it in English and then had translated it, and so he read it in French as well. So that was nice.
Yes, words,
that was very nice. And the singing of O Canada, both in English, first of all en français. It was the International Day of la Francophonie, and then in English, of course, with respect to everyone there. So, and that was Michelle Mink, the soprano with Cowtown Opera. It was amazing. So there was that, and a little prize here and there.
Yes. Volunteer of the Year this year, Suzanne. That was amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. Really, really
right
well deserved.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was pretty pleased to have that. A little birdie had told me that it was happening, but I had no idea of the presentation that Evelyn made. I mean, brought me to tears. I'm such
Evelyn Kémajou.
Evelyn Kémajou, yes,
great
with Le Pia, who represents the Francophone Immigrant Association of Alberta. So so it was a momentous day, and we had Cliff Bungalow Mission. They're actually publishing a book on the history of the Mission District, and so they were there taking orders for the book that's coming out only in the summer. And what else? Oh, l'Alliance Française, of course, with all the services that they offered, all the major partners. There were 5 again, just happens to be 5. So La Société Franco-Canadienne and the Bureau de Visibilité, and Le PIA, so the Multicultural Métis Nation of Alberta, and the Canadian Parents for French. And
the most important people were all there.
Yes, and of
celebrating
course,
together.
Friends of partners were La CFA and the Cliff Bungalow Mission Community Association. So.
Thank you very much, ladies, for being with us today. It was amazing. We could have continued for a long time. Thank you, everyone, for being with us, and on continue en français.